wild card, because at that point it was starting to be an issue of, we need to catch up to these teams. The teams like, the Braves that are trying to get in it. The Nationals, we need to be kind of like them records wise, so we can catch up and be ahead of the game, not behind. And then in the Central you have the issue with the Cardinals, and then you have the issue with the Pirates. So it's just, and also the Reds, but the Reds kind of faded away as the season progressed.
But they were kind of out of the talks towards the end of the season.
Yeah, no, but just second base was, Joe Panic was, huge. It's absolutely big.
All right, I'll review the 2014, then we'll move on to the off-season stuff very quickly.
Yeah.
2014 Giants. I have to say, these guys had one of the best starts. I thought, when we go to that second base situation, I thought Brandon Hicks was the guy. I mean, he was hitting home runs. He struck out a lot. I get that. That's hard to go through, but he also when he hit the ball, he got on base. But then he just started striking out so much and started just struggling for the Giants. But one guy I have to say that has really impressed me, and he's been here through 2012 to 2014. He has a huge contract. Buster Posey, man. I mean, that guy he's been a workhorse. I mean, ever since he had that season-ending injury at the plate, and everyone remembers that. He's came back just fine. Everyone had speculation and saying, oh, he's not going to come back. He's not going to be the same. Well, he has been. He had 22 home runs for 89 RBIs this season. Give this man credit. He struggled a little bit during the season. Finally found his groove towards the end. Him and Sandoval and Pence, obviously. But the Giants lost a big piece in that postseason run. You lose Angel Pagano, a man that gets you on base, and something the Giants really struggled with in the postseason is getting a guy on base really quick. And Gregor Blanco had to try to fill that spot very quickly. Going in, just want to say the regular season, great start for the Giants. Tim Hudson looked like a man that I thought that he was going to be consistent all year long. Well, he really struggled in the second half. Madison Bumgarner, he was just consistent. Picking up Jake Peavy towards the end of the season was a perfect pickup because he went 7-1 when he was with the Giant during the regular season. I don't know if he's coming back or not. That's still a question mark in my mind. And then you move on to Matt Cain getting hurt. They had to really fill that hole. I felt like the starting rotation was back and forth. You had to put in Petit because Lincecum was struggling. And now Lincecum, he's supposed to be back in that starting rotation. Then you move on to the postseason. Well, and Brandon Crawford hit that home run, the grand salami against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I thought this team's going all the way. I mean, after that giant hit and the Giants just smoking the Pittsburgh Pirates, this team is going far. And they did. They made it all the way. Two of the teams that a lot of people thought they wouldn't make the World Series, they did. And the Kansas City Royals fought hard. We were the first team to beat them in the postseason. And that was an amazing feeling. No one thought we'd beat the Washington Nationals, and we did. It was close. It was a hard-fought battle. We went to 18 innings. Brandon Belt, walk-off. Not a walk-off, but he hit a home run to win it for the Giants. And Santiago, I don't know. I don't remember who the last pitcher was in that inning, but still. I think one thing the Giants had to use was Tim Lincecum. I think that was a guy that you had to you had to build confidence. In 2012, he had that confidence in relieving. But I have to say, another season, all you fans out there that aren't Giants fans, you'll never understand what these 3 World Series rings mean to us. It's so magical because in 2010 it was nuts. It was torture. We won the last game of the regular season. The Giants barely made it this year. They lost pretty much basically almost every game. They finally won it. They finally made it in that wild card spot. And everyone thought the Dodgers would win it, like always, but they didn't. And I had to say, Giants, this was probably the hardest World Series you played in because they went all the way to Game 7. Congratulations, another great season. Now let's move on. Steven, we all know Pablo Sandoval, 5-year, about $100 million deal going to the Boston Red Sox. Your thoughts, and what are the Giants going to do next?
Don't care, and they should get Chase Headley. I don't think that the prospects or the minor league system that, or the farm system that the Giants have for third baseman is very weak. the top guy that I would think of, to go third base if the Giants can't get anything out of the offseason is Matt Duffy, and that's a huge issue because Duffy he's a good hitter. He's all right, but he's not going to be. You can't see him, being similar to Pablo Sandoval. He doesn't have the powers of Pablo Sandoval. He doesn't have the range. We're going to lose a lot out of Pablo Sandoval, but hopefully the Giants can get Chase Headley off of free agency because he has pop. He can hit about 20 home runs a season and have like a 280 to 300 batting average, and that's kind of what you saw in Pablo Sandoval. And Chase Headley's a switch-handed hitter too. It's a switchy too. So there's very similar things between Headley and Sandoval, but we can get Headley at a cheaper price, and we can probably get more production out of him. But I mean, Sandoval, he wants a new challenge. I can think that the new challenge is being in the American League, playing in a more offensive league than the National League. The American League is all about offense, with the DH, hitting for the pitcher. You have all the power hitters, your likes of Jose Bautista, Mike Trout, David Ortiz, who's coming, Alex Rodriguez when he's coming back.
Oh man.
Jose Abreu of the White Sox. Just all these guys. And Chris Carter of the Astros, he hit about like 39 or something like that, or I think he hit over 40 this year. But it's a power league, and I think that's one of the challenges. He wants to be a part of that power league, and then he's going to be also in a very hitters-friendly park in Fenway. He's been tortured with playing half the season at AT&T Park, a very friendly pitcher-friendly park. But then Fenway, it's only the Green Monster in its way for home runs to the left side, to left field. So. Giants should get Chase Headley, and then hopefully the Giants get John Lester because the Giants need another lefty in their bullpen. In their starting rotation. They're relying on a lefty, Bumgarner, and then four righties. I think that you need to diversify it. Have Bumgarner, and then two righties, and then or Bumgarner, a righty, Lester, and then two righties. Diversify. You can't just make it so you have a lefty every 5 days. It doesn't work in Major League Baseball like that anymore. So. We'll just see how things go. And my final remarks. So we're gonna wrap this up. I don't expect a lot out of Giants. I don't. 2011, 2013 explains why. And I feel like the World Series hype will get to the Giants, but I think the Giants will make the playoffs. But I don't see a World Series in my opinion. I feel like the Red Sox, picking up guys like Hanley Ramirez and Pablo Sandoval, and then supposedly being in the hunt for John Lester, they're just rebuilding right now. And when they're just spending money and they're paying, $300 million for guys, it's not fair. It's just another advantage over the Giants.
Well, Steven, I'm gonna say very quickly, and I'll end this one out. If the Giants don't win a World Series in 10 years, I won't be disappointed.
Because they already won.
They've already won
3 times in 5 years.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter at this point. Heck, you know what? Heck, rebuild right now, and just.
Well, it's not rebuilding.
It's not. It's not. I mean, losing your third base, and I think trying to find a starting pitcher could be it. But that's a discussion for another day. But thanks for listening to that 2014 SF Giants review. I'm Robert Diaz alongside Stephen Hughes. Thanks for listening, and we should have some more shows coming up as, we have JC football going, and we also have just a lot of other shows on national sports that you should be listening to. Thank you for listening, and have a great night.